Jermaine Franklin and Ditchko fighting two heavyweights. I'm really impressed with the Ukrainian or Russian fighter's record. His record is 15-0 with 14 KO and 23-2. The other guy, Benjamin Franklin, I don't know his name, but that's the fight that's taking place right now as we speak, and I don't want to miss it. But I want to let you know that the betting odds are 165 Canelo, 135 Crawford. So to get $100 for Canelo, you have to put 165, and to get $100 for Crawford, you have to put 135. So the odds are getting closer and closer. It depends where the betting takes place, but the most recent bet that I got right now is 135, 165. 165 for Canelo, 135 for Crawford. But I truly believe that Crawford is at another level, and he is not going up in weight to fight Canelo. He's cutting down weight. So that makes a big difference. He's not going up in weight. He's cutting down weight. So he's not going to be weak. He's not going to be affected by the weight factor with Canelo because he's cutting down weight. He walks around the same weight as Canelo, 183. They both walk around at the same weight. So it's just the first time that he's going to fight at that weight division. But I think his body's fully developed into the weight division, Crawford that is. So it won't be a factor, the weight difference. And I feel like the skills of Crawford is going to carry regardless of what way he's fighting Canelo. And I think he's going to be actually physically stronger than he's ever been and more powerful than he's ever been, Crawford, because the power is based on skill and the way he delivers the combination. He's always had skillful power, determination power, not one punch KO power, and neither does Canelo as well. But Canelo doesn't have the footwork or the athleticism to compete with Crawford. And I know that a lot of people are probably going to say, well, Crawford is gonna be having a disadvantage because he's coming from a lower weight class, he's coming from two weight divisions. But that's not going to be a factor because skills wins the fights. And Mayweather has proven that a small guy can beat a bigger guy. You saw how he dominated Canelo when Canelo first fought Floyd Mayweather, and Floyd Mayweather was smaller than him, smaller than Canelo. So we're not going to base this on size, and it depends on the circumstances. Like if Crawford would have came up and had to gain weight to fight Canelo and put the weight by eating and having to gain weight, then it would have made the difference, the weight difference. But I believe that Crawford is not going to have it's not going to be a weight factor for Crawford with Canelo because he's cutting down in weight. He actually walks around 183, 184, so he's cutting down probably like 15 pounds to make 168, and he made 167. So he made the weight with no problem, and I believe that the skills that Crawford possesses is going to be too much for Canelo, and he's going to school Canelo. That is what I'm saying. I said it. That's right. I said it. I boldly said it, and I feel like Punch Drunk is he needs to get off the meat of Canelo, saying that that Canelo's gonna beat Crawford and that Crawford's gonna lose, or Crawford needs to pull out of the fight, or stuff like stupid things he's saying. But I feel like he is a clown. He'll say that, and he likes to make people laugh. But realistically, he's just being a fanboy. He's not looking at the different variables. Like Crawford is not going to have problems with the weight, and he's going to dominate Canelo. I believe in the first few rounds, he has to be careful with Canelo because that's when he's the strongest. But I feel Canelo doesn't have a stamina. He don't have stamina. Yo, what's up? Where you from? Not Caca. I'm from Brooklyn, Boricua, Puerto Rican, but Puerto Rican descent, but from Brooklyn, Marble Projects. Guajo Nitro, where I can see the fight. Anyone going to put the fight? Crawford is going to win by decision. Yeah, I agree. He's going to win by decision. He could possibly knock down Canelo as well. You can watch the fight. There's streams out there. You just gotta, have a fire stick. I don't want to get too much details, but all you gotta do is find a way to watch the fight. Just find a way. You'll be able to do it. There's ways to do it. All right. So thanks for tuning into the channel. Subscribe to my channel. Tony also knows boxing. Subscribe to that channel if you want the real unadulterated truth and the truth, unbiased news. That's what I say. Hey, I love my Puerto Ricans. I want to go there. Yeah, my brother, you're welcome to go there. You should go there in December so you can get to experience the culture. Not Caca number one. Any place record. Yeah. Look, The fight right now is on Netflix. Check it out. And I don't want to miss the Disco versus Benjamin Franklin. I think that's his name. I hope I'm not butchering his name. But that fight is good. I want to watch it. And I believe that Canelo Alvarez is way in over his head. And I believe that a lot of people are undermining Crawford and they're not giving him a chance. And those people are delusional because they don't realize how great Crawford really is. The opponent that he beat, Errol Spence, was a top 5 pound-for-pound fighter, and he annihilated him. Canelo has never dominated an elite fighter that was supposed to be on an even playing field with him. He always won by controversial decision. And I said in my previous video, not Kaka #1, bet I subbed. I appreciate you, my brother. Yeah, so what you call it? I said in my previous video that what Hall of Famer that Canelo ever fight? He fought Miguel Cotto, and he fought Shane Mosley, but he fought them when they were not in their prime. And I do believe when he fought Cotto actually beat Canelo, but they gave the fight to Canelo, so that don't count. He beat Shane Mosley when he was not the best version of himself. He was actually out of his prime. But, you know, he got him on his record, but at the end of the day, he lost to Mayweather. Like, so he can't really count that as a leverage over Crawford, saying that he fought the better fighters. No, he lost to the better fighters. So you can't count that as a leverage over Crawford's opponent. All right. So why don't they change the referee? Also, these fights are so staged. A lot of stuff is staged, but I want to try to appreciate this fight for what it is, and hopefully it's not staged, but there's some things that are staged, you know, I agree, but yeah, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you tuning into the channel. Not Kaka. I mean, where you from? Yeah, I appreciate you tuning into the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Tony also knows boxing. I'm going to be putting more content up, and I'm going to be interviewing Abisal Cotto, who actually won by second round knockout in Puerto Rico last night, and also Manuel Febus won. I think he won by knockout. He has 1-0 with 1 KO. Manuel Febus, I plan to interview him as well. Puerto Rico talent from the island. He won, I think, in the first or second round, but I gotta see those fights. They're gonna share the fights with me, and then I'm gonna interview most likely both fighters, Abisal Cotto and Manuel Febus. He did say he was gonna give me an interview, but he got really busy training for the fight. So yeah, those two fighters yesterday won, and Stephanie Pinheiro also won by KO. Stephanie Pinheiro, she did her thing. I want to check out those fights. I wasn't able to watch it, but yes, subscribe to the channel. Tony also knows boxing. Who do you guys think is going to win? Canelo versus Crawford. Who do you have? I say Crawford is going to win by unanimous decision, possibly knock down Canelo. Canelo hasn't knocked down anybody, well, he knocked down Berlanga, and he hasn't knocked out anybody since Caleb Plant. Agent Extra said hi. What's up, my brother? Alperen Sayer. Hola, ¿qué pasa? ¿Cómo está, mi hermanito? Subscribe to the channel. I'm from Pakistan, but I live in China, not Kaka. Thanks for tuning into the channel. I appreciate you tuning in, and I appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Alperen Sayer, #1 fan. Hola, ¿qué pasa? Todo está bien, mi hermanito. Estoy hablando de las peleas. Digo que, ¿quién gana? Crawford o Canelo. Yo voy a Crawford. Crawford va a ganar por decisión unánime y posiblemente va a tumbar a Canelo. Esa es mi opinión. Cuajo Nitro, I know we're talking about Crawford and Canelo, but who you think is going to win in November about Matias versus Dalton? I think Matias wins by knockout. I think Matias is going to win by knockout stoppage. You never know what can happen with a fighter like that, but I believe that Matias has enough experience and enough dog in him to beat somebody like Dalton Smith. And I believe the opponent might change based on what happened with the first bid. Fresh Production Boxing winning the bid. They might change the opponent. Turkey Al-Sheikh and Eddie Hearns. There were some rumors about Eddie Hearns making a fight with Pitbull Cruz by talking to Suleiman, and the WBC's actually trying to work something out for Turkey Al-Sheikh and Eddie Hearns fighter Dalton Smith, and put him in a position to fight Pitbull Cruz, because they didn't like the fact that Fresh Production Boxing won the purse bid, $1.9 million to the 1.7 of Matchroom. So that's the rumor. We don't know for sure, but the rumor is that they might change the opponent to Alberto Puello, the rematch. I don't know how true that is, but that is the rumor. That is the rumor. We don't know. That's the latest that I heard. Did you hear that Floyd? This is not Kaka from Pakistan. Did you hear that Floyd Mayweather versus Mike Tyson is going to happen in January 2026? Yeah, I heard about that. I'm not really interested in that. That's just a money grab, money fight. It's not a real purist boxing fight that boxing fans want to see. But yeah, And Tank Davis is going to fight Jake Paul, which is nonsense. I don't really follow those kind of fights, but I get why they want to fight those fights to make a lot of money. But yeah, I have Canelo losing by unanimous decision to Crawford. Crawford is going to embarrass Canelo. He's going to school him, and he could possibly knock him down. I said it. Tony also knows boxing. Yes, I said it. Crawford is going to knock down Canelo, possibly. I'm not saying that he'll knock him out, but he could possibly beat him. Well, he could definitely beat him by unanimous decision and possibly knock him down. And if he knocks him out, that'll be a cherry on top of the ice cream for me, because I'm not feeling Canelo. I'm not being biased. I just think Canelo is overrated. He is overrated. If you would put him in the 90s generation with Felix Trinidad, Ike Quartey, Oscar De La Hoya, Pernell Whitaker, he would be an average fighter. But it's all about promotion. So yes, they make the right fights at the right time. They pick the fight when they think the fighter is old enough to fight Canelo. And, Canelo is not athletic. He's good. He throws good combinations, but he don't throw a lot of combinations no more. He's not in his prime anymore. But people that don't know boxing think he's still in his prime. He's in shape. He looks like he trained for speed. But Crawford has natural ability that Canelo does not have. It don't matter how much weight you lose, Canelo, you're going to not be able to compete with the natural instinctive reactions of Crawford, the way he fights all his career. So this is going to be interesting because a lot of people are talking about the weight. But Crawford is cutting down weight. He's not moving up to Canelo's weight class. That's the difference. And Roy Jones made that point. That was a good point that he made in the Andre Ward show, in the interview that I watched. But yeah, subscribe to the channel. Tony also knows boxing. You're tuning into my channel. Subscribe to that channel. And I'm going to be interviewing, most likely, Abisael Cotto, talking about his victory September 12th. Second round knockout of the Mexican guy, Villegas, who went to Puerto Rico and got knocked out by Abisael Cotto. You heard it over here first. Tony also knows boxing. Subscribe to the channel. Don't be afraid of the truth. Embrace the truth. And that's the only way you're going to get it from me. Because a lot of boxing content creators out there are just faking. They're actually trolling. And they're actually baiting you to click like. But they're not really giving you the real. And a lot of them don't know how to speak Spanish. A lot of them only speak English. They're Puerto Ricans with a limited vocabulary. Only speak English, not Spanish. So how are you going to interview your favorite Puerto Rican boxers that only speak Spanish? Only Tony also could do it for now. And some others. Subscribe to the channel. Tony also knows boxing. Art of boxing for you, my brother. Number 3, you're my brother. What up, Tony? Ready for tonight? Yes, man. Talking about the Canelo versus Crawford. Who you got, my brother? That's Art of boxing for you. That's my brother right there. Yeah, we're going to do some collaborations, me and Art of boxing for you. Yeah, who do you got winning? I got Crawford winning by unanimous decision. That's what I got. Cuajo Nitro, number 1. Yo soy boricua también. Ya tú sabes, mi gente. Boricua de pura cepa. Gracias por estar en sintonía. Suscríbete a mi canal. Yeah, Art of boxing for you, number 2. I have Crawford. Yep. That's somebody that knows his boxing. I know my boxing. I got Crawford winning by unanimous decision. And I made a good point, Art of boxing for you, that Crawford is not coming up to Canelo's weight. He's cutting down to make 168. He already walks around at 183, 184, and so does Canelo. So it's going to be more of an even playing field as far as the weight. The weight is not going to be so much of a factor because Crawford is not gaining weight or eating food to gain the weight to go up to 168. It's not like he's coming from 147 actually having to gain the weight to make that weight. He's actually cutting down weight. So that's a difference. Thank you, Cuajo Nitro. I appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Crawford did it smart. He took 11 months to make the weight. Yeah, true. That's how he was able to like build into the weight. He don't have to lose it. But I think his body matured too, and that's why he's not struggling to go down in weight, because he already, like, he's not like a lighter fighter like the way he used to be, like 147. He's not like that no more. His body already matured, and his body, he walks around at 183. So he's cutting down weight, as he's not actually putting on weight to fight Canelo. So it's a difference. Yeah. Charlo did it too, but Charlo went into that fight like he just wanted a paycheck. He didn't go into the fight like he really wanted to win. When will the zone, not Kaka, that's his name. That's your name, man. I hope I'm not butchering your name. Not Kaka from Pakistan. When will the zone host a new tournament? And also, it's kind of controversial that Canelo's doing something different, some different thing. Well, Canelo's going where the money is. He's always been like that. He's always been like that. He's going where the money is. Despite not fighting in Mexico, or he's fighting in a place where there's no Mexicans, but Mexicans are going to be able to watch the fight. But he's fighting in Saudi Arabia. But right now he's fighting where there's Mexicans. Right now in Las Vegas there's a lot of Mexicans. But he's gonna have fights in Saudi Arabia too, because he's with Turkey Al-Sheikh. Yeah, so I don't know when they're gonna have another tournament, but they're planning on having a tournament. That's what Turkey Al-Sheikh was saying in one of my videos. I addressed that. I talk about the tournaments that he's gonna have. It's gonna be really interesting. You should check out the previous videos where I talk about that, about the tournaments that Turkey Al-Sheikh is gonna have. I talk about it in some of my videos, so check those videos out. Subscribe to the channel. Tony also knows boxing. Art of Boxing for You, number 2 says Crawford is fighting for legacy. The money is there, but it's legacy. Yeah, he's a true to the sport type of fighter. He's very humble, and he's all about legacy. He's not about just money. He's about legacy. So Crawford is going to make a statement tonight. He's going to prove a lot of haters and doubters wrong. A lot of people that think that they know boxing, they're going to be sadly mistaken, and they're going to have a frown on their face when they see that Crawford dominates Canelo. I just hope they don't rob Crawford. You know how when it goes to the decision, I just hope that don't happen. But yeah, thanks for tuning into the channel. Not Kaka, bro, I have to go. I'll sub to you from my other account as well. Peace out. Thank you, my brother. Much love to you. Much love to you. God bless you. Thanks for tuning in, Not Kaka. I know some people are probably laughing, but I'm not laughing at your name. It's just it sounds like that, like Not Kaka. But that's your name, brother, and I got nothing but respect for you. And thanks for tuning in and subscribing to the channel, and go and doing it on your other account as well. I appreciate you, my brother. Enjoy the fights, everybody. Art of Boxing for You, my brother. We're gonna do a collaboration. Let's set it up. We have to do a setup before we actually go live and discuss it before we go live, my brother. Art of Boxing for You. That's a good brother right there. We'll get something popping. Subscribe to the channel. Tony also knows boxing. If you want the truth, follow me, and don't be afraid to subscribe to the truth, because the truth is gonna set you free and liberate you. We want content creators that are bold, that are not afraid. Peace. Subscribe.